New rules will be going into place next month, rules that will raise standards of care at assisted living facilities in Arizona. The regulations are designed to protect patients with dementia. And to learn more, we welcome Caitlin McGlade. She's a data reporter at the Arizona Republic and azcentral.com. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And this is basically happening because of your reporting there at AZ Central. Great job there. Let's talk about why these rules were needed and what now these rules will accomplish. Hopefully.
There is a widespread issue in the assisted living industry that memory care is a bit of a marketing term. So a facility can say, we offer memory care which is essentially enhanced care for people with dementia, and they can charge a lot more money if they say they offer memory care. But there's no standards that define what memory care is, and depending on where you go, you're going to get very different results.
So basically, and it sounds like these new rules, you're talking mandating increased training for caregivers, specifically those for dementia care? Mm-hmm. What does that mean, increased training? Was there not enough training before? Was there any training before?
There was very little training when it came to actually working with people with dementia, even though a lot of people who live in assisted living have dementia. The dementia-specific training was pretty minimal for caregivers. So what you end up having is employees who don't really know how to manage really difficult behaviors, or facilities well, like one caregiver actually speaking in favor of reform said that a lot of what happens is that staff, if they're not trained, might misinterpret something a dementia patient does, and then punish them for it, take away their food, or create situations that cause the resident to be very stressed out and then hurt themselves or hurt others. So there wasn't a lot of training, but now there will be. The law did say that dementia, that folks working with dementia patients will have to have at least 8 hours before they start working as a caregiver of dementia-specific training, and then after that, another 4 hours every year. Renewed.
Okay. Also establishing stricter enforcement measures for when things go awry. Obviously, enforcement measures suggest that there are rules in place. Are the rules in place? Are the enforcement measures stricter?
So that was a big problem that we found in our investigative series that ran in 2023, was that facilities would make all kinds of egregious mistakes, like missing up somebody's medicine and then that person ending up killing their roommate. That particular situation that I just cited, the facility got fined $500.
Yeah.
So there was just very little teeth to the law when state surveyors found that facilities messed up. And so what the new law does is that it increases the fines that facilities will have to pay, and also sets it so that it's like based off of the number of residents that are affected every single day. So the actual amount of money that facilities will have to pay will be a lot more than what they were previously paying, which they were basically baking into the cost of doing business.
Yeah. Okay. And that sounds like something that the industry would not be all that happy with. What kind of pushback did you see?
So there was a lot of last-minute pushback just last week and the week before at the Governor's Regulatory Review Council. That council is tasked with vetting final rules before they become codified. And so industry lobbyists turned out pretty fiercely against, so they didn't want an entire section of the law that defined memory care standards. They said that some folks said the training would be too expensive and that cost would be passed down to residents. They said that the training was duplicative, which is actually not true. There was not that much training. They also there was another Michelle Ugenti-Rita showed up and said that the state had made all of these changes in secret, but she actually had never attended any of the stakeholder meetings. So there was a lot of pushback at the Governor's Regulatory Review Council to water down the rules the state had been working on for the last year since the bill was passed to get those rules going.
And that pushback did not succeed.
It did not.
Okay. With that said, takes effect next month. Is there going to be some kind of grace period involved?
The state says yes, that they're not going to be enforcing everything right away. One of the things in the law that the industry was really nervous about is this on-site monitoring thing, where if a facility is making repeated problems or they're putting their residents in severe danger, the law sets up this system where the state can actually have somebody on site from the regulatory agency making sure that they are in fact improving, and they can charge a fee for that. And so that's the thing that they're not going to be enforcing right away.
Not right away, but eventually. Well, it sounds like, again, great work on this, and it sounds like great work at getting what we hope are better results for dementia care at assisted living facilities. Caitlin McGlade, Arizona Republic, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.